what's up?
Baby, let's go.
Welcome to our website. We got loads of news and gossip for you today. But first, here's a new song.
There was a noise from somewhere deep. We heard the sound, it was bittersweet. Voices calling out from an aching heart, getting so much closer by staying apart, singing a song of hope and love that healed. You heard when I heard, I feel what you feel. We will survive, we will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. The streets are empty, but the sky is clear. You want somebody and can't have them near, taking shelter where you can when the world is at stake. Alone together, trying hard not to break, singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard, I feel what you feel. We will survive, we will stay strong. Love is the word, and hope is the song. A song for the lonely, the tired and the weary. A song for the broken, the mighty. Can you hear me? Get beyond our pride and greed, share everything that we need. We won't be ignored. We will be restored. Singing a song of hope and love that will heal. You heard when I heard, I feel what you feel. We will survive, we will stay strong. 'Cause love is the word, and hope is the song.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. We try new stuff, as you can tell.
Yeah,
I don't know what
fun.
to expect anymore.
They're having fun. They're so
They're
great
having
to me,
fun.
our crew. Val keeps going, what can I take off your plate? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Because they're watching me spin and just pivot in circles.
Yes, and driving me crazy.
I've driven everyone crazy today.
We've lit 4 candles in the bathroom because I was trying to get the exorcist out of here. You're all over the place. But anyway, welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. Welcome to all our friends. She's in jail, so I need you to share it out to at least one person. Help us out a little bit. We would appreciate it. And for those of you watching us on multiple pages, you can always come and visit us at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Yes.
On Facebook. We're putting ads in there. We got new friends that are doing some ads as well. We are selling product. And you see what I got on?
I love it.
We got our merch store coming. I'm going to order a cabinet to put merchandise in there.
Dawn.
So I'm going to have Slick wearing the merchandise, and I'm going to put them in a case. We're going to have a
frame Slick?
a live mannequin like they do in New
Slick,
York.
we're going to frame you. And then you walk by the windows and go, is he real or is he not? I remember doing that when I
Be
did
a
modeling.
fossil.
I'd have to stand. My mother put me in teenage modeling. God knows why she did that. You'd have to like pretend you were the mannequin. Ever see that movie?
Yes, when I was at Frank's Army and Navy, I was a mannequin.
Yeah,
in the
me
store.
too. We should have met each
In the
other a long
front.
time ago.
In the front on 3rd Avenue in the Bronx, and I was a mannequin. And I was doing like this. And I was standing up because I got tired of, I sit down, I got tired of standing up.
Do you remember we had to dress it? We had to move the mannequin for that hair shot we did
Oh, yeah.
in the hair salon. And
It
Dylan
broke
goes and picks up the mannequin by the, and then everything
not
fell
fun.
off.
Not too much fun.
Anyway, we had a great day today. We started our morning show with a new morning show, Bagel and Deli, 2nd Street Bagel and Deli on East Boca Raton, just south of Meisner. Great people, great owners, 25 and 26-year-old owners of this great deli. So they brought us a bag of bagels and some cream cheese and a little bit of a shamir. They're going to do Passover and Easter, so get your orders in. They do breakfast and lunch. And they're actually going to help us cater and feed our crew on Sunday, because where are we on Sunday, Batman?
We're going to that way, to the gate.
We're heading out to the Everglades,
I'm
to
from
South
the Bronx.
County
I don't
Regional
know. We're
Park.
going that way.
South County Regional Park to benefit the Brain Bowl for Alzheimer's research and for Alzheimer's and dementia. We're going to be there Sunday from 11 to 2, so come on out. It is pet friendly. There's actually a pet contest. There's going to be dogs, cats, and alpaca and a wallaby are in the pet contest.
I forgot to rub my pet.
Keep rubbing your pet. BrainBowlEvents.org. Check it out. It's $20 for a ticket. Get your tickets early. You can also buy them right there at the park. All proceeds go to benefit Alzheimer's disease and Alzheimer's research. You can also always contact Pamela Heiger-Polani at BrainBowlEvents.org. So over 50 vendors are going to be there. We get to stream it and cover it and do the interviews. We get to wear our merch from the merch store. The hats are coming this afternoon from Promo Stuff For You from Jeff Greenberg and Andrea. So thank you all for that.
That's right.
And they're going to be, the bagel place is going to send, we're going to bring in sandwich trays for our crew here.
Yes,
and
we're
our
not
crew
selling food. We're
there.
going to feed our crew.
Because there's no food that's going to be at the event because it is COVID requirement and COVID friendly.
No
So there's no
food
food
to
being
sell.
served. So we have to bring our food, bring your own food. But it's going to be a great fun event.
It is.
Beautiful day I hear it's going to be this
It's going to be
weekend.
very nice. It's going to be like 70. It's just going to be like being inside the Astrodome. It's going to be perfect weather.
I'm thinking of bringing a fan.
Why? It's outside. What are you going to
I'm
bring a
almost
fan for?
54 years old. You know me. Yeah, keep laughing, Blake. Thank you very much for playing. It's all fun is all I can say. And yes, did someone just trip?
No, they just dropped off a Blake. Yeah. I mean, somebody, they just dropped off a TV.
There you have it. I told you a TV was coming today.
And we need a TV to take with us, by the way.
And there it is. So we've got a TV. And so check out 2nd Street Bagel and Deli. The owners are spectacular. It is right next door to Angelo's To Go, just south of Meisner Park. There's a little strip mall there next to the post office. Check it out. Say the Brooklyn Cafe Show sent you. The owners. They're incredible. Brandon and Kara, such nice young kids.
And if you go at 1:30, any bagel
50% off?
50% off. So if you go at 1:30, all the bagels, they got to get rid of them because they do it fresh every day. Go down there, you get it for half off.
We got a great show
I may
lined
have
up
to
for you.
leave the show for a minute.
Go get some bagels.
get
We
some
got a great show lined up. We've got Cheryl Maida joining us, a matchmaker. Dr. Laura Ellick is joining us virtually. She's a new sponsor of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. So we're going to talk about the psychology behind love and dating, which rolls us right into Digit City tomorrow with Ask Dear Abby.
I didn't even know this was coming.
I
but
know.
Okay.
And you wonder why I stand in one room and I pivot. I go, Freddie, Val, Teddy, Taylor. And
They
then I go back
didn't
this
know it
way.
either because I asked them. Nobody got a memo.
And tonight is a full moon. So if you're wondering for all of this fun and wonkiness comes to be, yes, tonight is a full moon. So check out whatever full moon meditation you're going to find.
This is going to be interesting because we want to talk about matchmaking. We want to talk about all the idiosyncrasies that go on. Oh, that hurt. That go on
That
now
word hurt your head, huh?
It hurt my
Too
ears.
much thinking.
But it hurt my ears. But it's funny because in here, the kids have a hard time finding people. Now you add the COVID and there's harder time finding anything, anyone.
Here, you know how my world is always full of serendipitous coincidences, right? You know how my world rolls out. Things just always seem to fall boom, boom, boom in alignment. So Chelsea was staying with us over the weekend and she was working from the house. And we were talking about how hard it is right now dating during COVID and how the apps, people, they ghost, they catfish. The guys are, sorry, Slick, the guys are kind of, it's very hard to date.
Kind of too, you know.
So this
They're
was
only
Saturday.
guys.
This was Saturday night. So she and I had this long conversation. Sunday I wake up and I go on social media and who do I find? Cheryl, a matchmaker. And I'm on the phone with her Sunday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning going, oh
That's
my
kind of
gosh.
scary to begin with.
I know.
Okay, she answers on a Sunday and act like.
Well, she said, I'm ready to talk now, are you? So I think I waited until the 10 o'clock Sunday morning rule, and then I spoke to you. But so I met Cheryl Maida, and she does matchmaking right here in Boca Raton. Her prices are amazing. And the interesting, we're going to talk to her,
Yeah, I wanna walk
who
through
most
this
of her
thing.
clients are.
Slick, go get a piece of paper
So I was thinking of you, Slick,
for you.
the vacuum.
Boy.
Another important thing in life. The TV should be here today also. Keep me off of Amazon, please. And Walmart would be second best to keep me off of my shopping spree. So Slick, here's the reason I was thinking about the guys. Because Teddy's in a significant relationship for a long time. Valerie's getting married next year. And I was thinking of you and Blake,
Okay,
Taylor.
if you guys want to get married,
some relationship information. So Cheryl, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love when you actually met Freddie. You said, do I know you from, ready, Slick, buckle up. Do you work out at LA Fitness? Freddie does.
I walk to LA and I'm fit, baby.
And she said it with a straight face.
Well, she was being serious. You're the only one that takes everything as a joke.
And you go. And you go, oh, which one?
I'm in hiding. I hang out at the snack bar.
Slick, can you adjust their camera, please? Because it looks like they're on a boat. They're a little sideways. So welcome. We got Cheryl and Anthony joining us. And Anthony didn't know he was joining us. So welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We had a walk-in today. I don't know who walks by here. Her name's not even on the door to stop in and see what we
Who
do.
was she?
Someone just walking through the
She was
neighborhood.
looking for a date.
She was looking, Mary was looking for a date. What ages do you work with?
I work with ages anywhere, I would like to say from 25 and older. My clientele are basically in their upper 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and I do
22.
get some 60s as well.
So that would maybe work for Mary.
Holy smokes, wait a minute. She went from 25 to 60?
To 60.
So you work with everybody.
Almost everyone, yes, almost everyone.
Talk right into your mic, they want you.
Is the green light on?
Yes.
Yes.
No, they just don't want the echo.
And it just depends really what they're looking for. I never, I don't disqualify anyone.
Order two?
So that's why I interview everyone personally to find out what their needs are, what their wants are, and then take it from there. So age is not really as important. They have to be at least 18, of course, but I feel 25 is a good age to start at.
How did you get involved in the matchmaking business?
So I used to be a recruiter for a very large company back in New York, and I continued with them when I moved down here in Florida. Then I had my children, and I didn't work for quite a while. I was talking to my father one day, asking him his advice as to what he thinks I should do. And one day he called me up and told me he had the perfect job for me, that I should become a matchmaker. And I can't lie, I started hysterical laughing because I was thinking a matchmaker, an old woman who's hunched over, who must be like 90 years old. And my dad said, you would be great. You love talking to people. You love interviewing people. That's exactly what you did. Just think about it. I hung up with my dad and I walked around my house laughing still for hours later. He wants me to become a matchmaker. And sure enough, that's how it all began. So I started really thinking about it, and I did my research, and believe it or not, there were books to buy, and I started about 10 years ago.
Wow. Wow.
So
10
you
years
asked,
is a
you
long
asked
time.
how was her success rate, right? Well, that would be the next question.
Great. Let's put it like this. Everyone I've worked with pretty much has gotten married, engaged, or in long-term relationships. Sometimes things happen on their own where they take a little hiatus from me. But so far, I want to say I'm very happy with my success rate so far.
You're going to have some children.
Yes, I do. Thanks, Anthony. Some people have kids as well.
Some of the people
Talking.
some of the people that she matched up actually wound up having children.
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. It's the most gratifying job in the world. I love it.
Now I gotta ask.
Please.
I just gotta ask. Okay, so you meet either a female or a male, either or.
Right.
And what do you put together? Because obviously you got a winning formula, right? That's obvious. So what do you ask or what do you put together that you can make these?
Make the matches?
Yeah.
Okay, like how do I do it? So basically, the men are my clientele, and I would interview them thoroughly, one-on-one, to find out everything about them. I ask a lot of questions. I usually spend at least an hour with them, probably more. Then I recruit for the men. On the same token, I also get many women who are single, who are very interested in being in my database. I find out as much as I can about them without asking too many personal questions. I find out from the age range they want, whether religion has anything to do with it, if they've been married before, are they willing to get married again, children come into play, their hobbies, their jobs, you name it. And of course, COVID is a very big question in this day. And based on what they're looking for is how I decide who I think I should make the introduction for. But I do preface to everyone, I don't perform magic. I really take what I know, I get a good vibe, I get a lot of information, I make the introduction, but if there are sparks and if there's chemistry, that's up to two people, and they take it from there.
I love that most of your clientele are men. And you've got a database, and then you've got clientele that you specifically work with.
Correct.
What's the difference?
Okay, so what I have is clients who could be men or women. They're predominantly men. Those are the people that pay me who I outright recruit for. So I work for them and I'm recruiting for them 24/7. Then I have a database. I do have a database of women and men. Those are men that maybe aren't ready to hire a matchmaker, but are contemplating it. Some men maybe just got recently divorced, therefore they just are getting back into the dating pool. So they are a member in my database, which is a much less fee. The women I have in my database are in it just because they are looking for someone. They maybe be online, but they're not interested in staying online. They see the same single faces all the time. So my job is to match up the appropriate people. The clients come first. I go to my database to see what women I might have to match them. If I don't think I have the appropriate woman, that's when I outright recruit. But I will also match up two members of a database if I feel the introduction should be made.
Slick, you in?
I
How
would
about you,
love
Blake?
to have you.
Hey, they're all like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I said,
Sounds good.
the Jewish mother that I am, I'm like, 28-year-olds, and you go, yeah, I just had two 28-year-olds contact me. You said Saturday night.
Yes. So I do, as I said, I do get women and men in their 20s. That is a whole different price range as well. I just need, the bottom line for me is to know how serious they are. I need to know what they're looking for is real and solid. I tend to say men 30 and above are more ready to settle down, where sometimes, not all the time, men in their 20s aren't there just yet. So I'm very open to speak to anyone, because sometimes you have a 25-year-old that will surprise me. Sometimes it's the 50-year-old man that wants to continue to play the field.
But sometimes you get change of venue, right? So if somebody says to you, I'm 28, not looking to get settled down, but I'd like to meet somebody, and then they fall in love and the whole game changes. Do you make the matches based on long-term, short-term, how serious they want to be? Because some women in Florida, they forget about it. They want to get married right away. And some guys in Florida, they sort of run away thinking, I don't want to get married right away, but they'll talk to you about not wanting to, but secretly they do want to.
It's great. Again, when I speak to people, I don't try to persuade anyone's decision, but it's interesting how we all want something, and at the interview, they'll tell me exactly what they want, but then when I find a girl, I always explain, I can't always check off every box. We need to check off the most important boxes. And then when I present a woman, all of a sudden it's amazing how someone who maybe was on the fence with kids now wants to have kids because this woman they found is dynamite. Someone that maybe never wanted to get married, all of a sudden that changes. So things change. Love can do that to you. It's funny. So I take what they say to heart, but I do know in the back of my mind, things could change.
Anthony, what's it like for you having a wife who's a
was just gonna
matchmaker?
ask
I
you.
mean,
Poor
really?
Anthony.
She has to meet with a lot of single guys, obviously, so that's a little hard. But I wanted to add, her formula is more quality over quantity. So if you're somebody who's looking to go on like the matchmaking sites and hook yourself up with 20 dates this weekend, that's not what she does. She's not looking for quantity, she's looking for quality. And what you said before, if you have a guy who's looking to still kind of sort of play the field and is not looking to be serious, she's obviously not going to match him up with a girl who's looking to be serious. And if he's just looking to play the field, that's not what she does. She's not going to hook you up with serial dating. So you can just, you know.
He wouldn't become a client of
Right,
mine.
he wouldn't become a client. She's turned people down.
Yeah.
Like if you don't fit her criteria, what she's looking to do,
Gotcha.
she's turned people away. So it's more quality over quantity. So you're not going to be set up on 10 dates a week with her. You may not even be set up on one date. You know, it's quality until she finds the right person and the right match.
Right.
You think that because of what we're going through, it's changed the perspective on dating, the fear?
Of course it has. Of course it has. It had to have. Because even the online dating, which again is another avenue for people to do, which of course is one of the most popular things, it has gotten, from what some single people have told me, too much. And people aren't serial dating anymore because they're too nervous for COVID. So they're really trying to evaluate what the most important things are, and they're more selective as to who they meet now. Also, what we used to do is the two biggest stress factors of meeting someone, in my opinion, from what I hear from everyone, usually has been, what do I wear and where do we go? Well, now with COVID, that's not the most important thing. Where do you go? You have only so many places. So a lot of people had to really change that and really compromise and really think, what are the most important things, and be a lot more selective with who they choose to meet due to COVID and what, the risks could be.
It's interesting because the game has changed. We make fun of Slig and the guys in here as well because it's been even more difficult for them to focus on anything else. I mean, right now they're just focusing on either work, getting home safe, and the whole 9 yards, and to find somebody. Everybody wants to have somebody, no matter who you are.
Absolutely.
It just depends on how much you want it to grow and where you want it to go. So it's become difficult. What I like about the fact, Slick, that you should be happy about is that she must know a whole bunch of digits. You know, you can sort of select. Like you're always telling me you're looking for that special somebody.
The enchantress.
Now they're gonna call you out because they're gonna have to know what that means.
We love to pick on Slick. But I gotta tell you.
That's about it. I mean, it's pandemic, so I'll take it.
I know he's sputting it already.
I'll take a step back.
But your prices are amazing also.
That's what I
For
hear.
your membership on your database.
So my prices definitely beat a lot of the matchmakers. Again, everyone has their own style and their own technique of doing things. I've heard a lot of matchmakers start at $10,000, $15,000, to each its own. My clients are paying me $2,500, and then the members in my database right now as we speak are $199 for the men. And depending with the women, I get this asked all the time, do the women pay? When I am recruiting for a client of mine and I find a particular woman that I think might fit what he's looking for, and I interview her and I'm like, oh my God, she's perfect. No, I do not. There's no fee to her whatsoever. But sometimes that's not always the case. So a woman has an opportunity to interview with me, and if she's not a fit and she's like, okay, Cheryl, thank you anyway, we part our ways, no problem. If someone said, well, I'd love for you to think about me for future clients, and if you have any members in the database you think I'd be great for, I charge a one-time fee for women for $99, flat fee, nothing else. I don't ask for professional pictures. We discussed that, Dawn, that I always have pictures from the clients and members. I take 3 to 4 pictures, as well as a 30-second video. The video is just so they can represent themselves better. I feel badly that not everyone is super photogenic, and so I feel like if you give me a little 20 to 30-second video, whether you talk about your day, the greatest, date you've ever had in your life, the worst date you've ever had in your life. I really feel it shows someone's personality behind the picture, and it seems I've been getting a great response with that. So I do not ask for professional pictures. I don't want them. I'm trying to stay as authentic as possible.
She doesn't want filtered pictures and airbrushed pictures.
Right.
People are you're setting yourself up for disappointment
Wow.
because then the guy meets the girl and she looks 20 years older than she did in the pictures because she filtered her wrinkles and her lines
Exactly.
and everything. And
How amazing is this?
Yeah, because I when I used to go on date sites and I met the girl, I says, I'm sorry, I'm waiting for somebody. She says, that's me. I says, that ain't you.
exactly, right.
I mean, it's
It
true.
happens. That's the biggest thing.
That's one of the biggest complaints people have with the
All the
online dating
time.
is that they meet people and it's like a picture from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's an airbrush
Right.
picture. It's a filtered picture.
So I basically eliminate all of that, and I take that away because they know not only I've met the people. So if I get a picture that I don't think is a good representation, I'll ask for a different one. But that's where the video comes in, and that's what I think everyone loves. Because I've had some people say about the picture, like, "Oh, okay, you know, she's okay." I said, "Just wait, look at the video." They see a video, they're like, "When can I take her out?" And the picture just comes to life, and that's what I believe in. It's not just about a pretty face for man or woman. It's the personality, and especially now with COVID, we need to be more selective and really date someone that has true potential.
I am so excited about what she does.
It's really cool.
I know, because you know what it is? It's just, it inspires hope. That it's not going through the same dating sites and seeing the same people on the same sites that you met, didn't swipe one way or another, and then they find you and you match on another site and you realize it didn't work on one site, it's not going to work on this site, but you give people hope.
Hope. You know what's interesting, Dawn, that you said that? I've actually set a couple up that are married now. They've been married for, I want to say, about 7 years. I was presenting a man, a woman that is part of my database. He happened to say to me, "Cheryl, I know her. I've seen her on a dating site. I actually was interested. She never responded." I said, "Okay, that's the dating site. Now let me talk about her. It's different coming from me. I know her now. I met her. I am able to tell you about her. Maybe she didn't see your picture. Maybe she looked quickly." And sure enough, they're married now for 7 years.
That's amazing. How do people get in contact with you?
So you can get in contact with me from my cell number, which is 561-702-1419. I have a website, www.cherylmaida.com. I'm also on Facebook, Cheryl Maida, as well as my matchmaking, which is just Cheryl Maida LLC Matchmaking.
I love it. All right, let's take a commercial break. When we come back, I think we've got Dr. Laura joining us virtually from VMix. Let's talk about the psychology behind
That's the one.
love and
That's the one I
relationships
wanna
and
hit.
matchmaking. And is it
Absolutely.
taboo or does it give you hope? Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A. This segment brought to you by Lost Harbor. Summer Peep is not in the house, but Lost Harbor Spirits, always is.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Slippery slope.
Today's hits and all-time favorites.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. We invite you to join us on our journey inspired by the undiscovered Spanish fleets lost in the 1600s, the treasures that have been buried with them, and of course, the lost harbors that remain abandoned on the foggy coasts of Florida. Proudly distilling in West Palm Beach, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered.
Along the sun-drenched beaches of Boca Raton lies AMP2 Media. We strive to bring rising stars and their fantastic work into the spotlight. From music to art, we have the tools and the talent you need to help you reach the next level. AMP2 Media is proud to announce our new storing platform for reality shows, movies, and videos. we have the ability to highlight music according to what the eye sees on the screen. Our excellent mastery of music allows us into the deepest part of your film. Our different sounds allow your film work to come to life. For more information, call our studios at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at amp2.tv. Let AMP Media Productions bring your media to life.
Please join us for the 7th Annual Brain Bowl as we bark and browse to end Alzheimer's at the Burt Aronson South County Park. $20 per person. A socially distant outdoor vendor event. All safety precautions will be adhered, including face coverings. Proceeds to help those living in our community addressing Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. For more information, contact Pamela Polani Esquire, 561-496-4222, or visit us at brainbowlevents.org.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
We are adding sound effects.
That is hilarious. You know what we got to do? We got to get Blake on a, what's that called? You know when
What are
they
you doing?
take the records and they go like this?
What are you doing?
You know when they go like this on the records and they go,
They
kind of like,
scratch 'em?
yeah, that. So when we come back from break, we got Blake behind the records going like, that kind of thing.
Doing what?
That,
Doing what?
Anyway, the segment brought to you, yes, by Lost Harbor. Summer Peep, the owner of Palm Beach Distilleries and Lost Harbor, the first women-owned distillery in Palm Beach County, is out on a road trip up in Orlando doing new business. But she is the sponsor of our Fem City event, which is going to be held on March 26th right here in our studio. It is holding 14 women in person. The rest will be virtually. There will be a 2 cocktail making class. So Fem City, Lost Harbor, Palm Beach Distillery, and the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Teddy will be bartender. More information, you can find it on Bitly event. You can go bit.ly/Brooklyn Cafe Fems. You can get my discounted link from $150 down to $99. So if you are a woman in business looking to connect with other women to grow your business, check it out. It's bit.ly/Brooklyn Cafe Fems for more information.
And on the flip side of that quarter, on March 26th,
Yep.
competing against Fem City is going to be Inside the Mind of Man. We're going to be holding it at the Artful Dodger.
Going
on
to take
20th.
Captain Mado with you?
Yeah, I'll take the captain with him. Everybody goes salute. Salute and hold your drink is going to be sponsored by Gubba because it's wicked smooth. And we're all going to be up there and all the guys are going to come. We're going to have cigar rolling, dart playing. There's
We
gonna be
need a
band,
Battle of the
music.
Sexes t-shirt is what we need.
We need to have that. We need to
Forget
have
political correctness, Slick. We're just going to do this old school because we're just old school. Sorry, we're just old.
that. Listen, give me or Slick a call, 866-224-5422. Give us a call or go on Facebook and say you want to be part of the man's group. And we have all sorts of goodies and surprises. I spoke to Maria. We're going to have the Manscaped Woman.
I hope that the Manscaped Woman, that's just a whole scary visual.
Why? She's
Gonna
going to do
manscape a woman?
eyebrows.
Oh,
gonna
she's
do-
going to, you're not manscaping a woman. You're just
No,
going to have her doing
manscape.
some manscaping.
Did I say manscape a woman?
Yeah.
No, I did
You said a
not.
manscaping woman.
She's a manscaping female.
Yeah. It's a whole nother level.
That's what she does for a living.
Yes, she does. And she's located down in Fort Lauderdale.
In Fort Lauderdale, she's coming up. She's going to be part of this gig. Also, we are looking for first responders. If you are a man, come forward. We're going to buy you a drink just to say thank you because your work has helped us get, it looks like we're getting better at this whole mess. And again, we thank you, thank you, thank you. But contact us March 26th if you're a female on that side, if you're a male on this side, and let's have some fun. We may even put a not-for-profit attachment.
I'm going to get some Rock'em Sock'em robots is what I'm going to get.
Oh, you remember that?
Uh-huh.
I still have those.
Let's bring them in.
They're red and blue.
Bring them on in.
You know why they're red and blue, right?
Why?
Political. That's why they did it, though.
I'm thinking pink and teal is what I'm thinking. Anyway, we've got Dr. Laura Ellick on the line, and I know she's got a quick lunch break to join us, a new sponsor of the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Let's bring Dr. Laura over. We also have Cheryl with us. Hey, Dr. Laura, how are you doing?
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm so glad to be here.
How are you feeling?
I am doing much better.
Good.
I had the second COVID shot and had quite a reaction to it.
You got to drink heavy.
We got to send some
There
Lost
you-
Harbor and Gubba your way.
But I'm so fascinated by this all matchmaking, dating kind of thing because somebody screamed himself right out by saying he would never date anybody who had the vaccine.
Yeah, what was that, by the way? I saw that on your page. I don't understand what that means.
I think for a lot of people, this is a political statement, and it meant something to him politically that I was willing to go and get the vaccine done. And he actually made the comment that people should have that on their dating profile so you can screen them right out.
You know, I saw that on your page, and I'm thinking, why wouldn't anyone date if you had the vaccine? I'm thinking, could you carry the disease? Could
Isn't
you
that
spread
better?
the disease? Like, I couldn't understand. It never occurred to me that it was a political statement.
It's a political statement. Everything in this country has become political. You cannot make any kind of comment anywhere on social media nowadays without people jumping all over it. And it's seeped right into the dating world.
Well, you've got a very hot social media site. You get comments from, wow. I mean, the volume of followers that you have and people that respond. Freddie said when we first started working together, even if they're saying something negative, they're talking about you. So
They're watching.
There's good PR and there's bad PR, but it's all PR. So whatever you're doing to elevate and bring awareness to it. But I want to ask you, the psychology behind dating and matchmaking right now, has it changed?
Absolutely. I mean, as you can see, certain topics that we never would have thought of before have become hot button topics. Now we have to think about politics, attitudes towards how you manage COVID. There are people who still consider COVID to be a hoax. So what does that mean in terms of you dating somebody? How do you feel about wearing masks, not wearing masks? Things that we never would have thought of before are now associated with personality traits, and I never would have expected.
Is that part of what you're working? I know you've got a new job you're working with in a new place. Where are you working now? Who are you helping?
I am working at Futures Recovery Healthcare in Tequesta, and it's a drug and alcohol rehab facility. We do have a mental health floor, so I do some work there. I'm still at technology consulting, but I'm just looking to spread goodness everywhere, and that's why it's so funny on Facebook how you can make the most innocent comment and somebody will jump on it with anger and negativity and controversy. It's just surprising to me.
But the good news is that enables you to respond back, and that keeps your post populating up and up and up. So that's the good side of it.
Yes, it is. But I mean, this whole dating thing is absolutely crazy because I'm going through it now and just cultural differences between dating in New York, dating in
I got to
Florida.
ask you this personally. You're back on the dating scene after dealing through a divorce.
Right.
What is that like? And would you consider using a matchmaker ever?
I think after going through some of the apps and what I've seen on the apps, I would more likely be willing to go through a matchmaker than maybe I would have been many years ago.
Why?
First of all, I find that there are a lot of people who use dating apps in a not so great way. There are tons of scammers on there. As you saw, I posted, people try to get you onto Google Hangouts or WhatsApp or one of those things right away. There are tons of fake profiles. And it's too much work to really do the background check on everybody. And there are too many people right now who just are texting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people at one time, and they're really not serious about dating. They're just serious about getting a following.
And when you're working with clients who are either in recovery, you work with clients privately that are not in recovery, what is the pulse of what's happening right now as far as dating, relationships, getting out and back into the world?
I think dating has taken a hit in general just because of the COVID thing. There are people who are hanging out more in pods, just of their friends. People are scared to date, but relationships themselves have taken a hit. Even couples that have been together for a long time, I've talked to them about, hey, why don't you guys go on a date together? You haven't been out, you haven't done anything in a long time, and relationships have really stagnated because it's just the daily grind day to day, and there's nothing to make the relationship any different than just two people who are living together.
What kind of advice do you give people then?
Well, in Florida, I think we're really fortunate because we have the warm weather. People can go outside in a safe way. So I encourage people to do things together, dating together, something special, whether it's going paddleboarding, whether it's going for a walk, doing something to remind each other of the romantic part of their relationship rather than just the day-to-day, who's paying bills, who's going grocery shopping, those kinds of things.
You know, what I admire is when I got divorced the second time, I felt like a failure as a dad and a man. And if I had known somebody like you to talk me off the cliff, because in order to meet a matchmaker, which is a custom deal, it's much realistic. I was notorious on them sites. I could tell you every site in the world. Forget about it. It was just nuts. I was going to write a book. It was so crazy.
You're on page what, 7?
7. More to come. But you have to be able to be honest to the fact that you're not a failure. If a relationship didn't go the way you planned it, you're not a failure. And you have to be able to walk through this to get the courage to make a phone call to them and say, listen, I want to get back into the saddle. I want to do it correctly. Maybe I did it incorrectly. I used to think that I was not worthy of being in a relationship because I was toxic. This is what my divorce created in me, and it took 2 or 3 years to get over that hump. And I didn't know anybody like you. I was telling Dawn, when I met you the first time, we had such a great conversation. A lot of people called me and said, what is her number? What is her name? Because they want to talk to you, because they feel that they can relate to you about their problems with what's going on around us.
Dr. Laura is who we're going to send that person to.
Yes.
We have
absolutely.
someone we were talking to yesterday, and we said to this person, who shall remain nameless, instead of posting all of your heartfelt things you wear on your sleeve on social media that will affect business, how about a therapist? And he said, do you know one?
Yes.
There she is.
We're going to recommend someone to you. But it's important because when they talk to you and they get the courage, then you send them here and you're able to get back on there as a controlled environment. It's the difference of buying a Cadillac car and buying a bicycle, because you're going to get it done correctly. And you know, there's an old saying my father always taught me. In order to make money in business, you got to buy right. It's not about the sale, it's about buying right. And here, you're buying right. You're spending money wisely. Here, you're spending money wisely because you're getting the right information. And trust me, I used to be a client, and I know what wrong is all about. And wrong can cause you a whole lot more damage.
You know, what we found, Dr. Laura, is that during this pandemic, besides the dating and the matchmaking and the love side, people have learned who their friends are and I know this relates to you as I'm saying, as it's coming out of my mouth, I know this resonates with you. Who your friends are, who you can trust, and who you can turn to, and who you cannot. And oftentimes, people have found that their circle of friends, their pod, may not exist anymore. Those that they used to hang out with in social clubs, at nightclubs, and dating, that's not who they really are because their life has changed now. However, they feel that they're not accepted. And you fit into so many people. Last time you were on, we talked about recovery. We had a guest on, and he felt compelled to open up to you. Now I feel like I want to refer people to you that are hurting because they've lost that sense of those friends that weren't friends, those friends that encourage not such good behaviors, but they don't know how to stay, I want to say, on the light side instead of the dark side, because that pull, the pull of alcohol, the pull of addiction, the pull of all of those other things is so strong. They need someone like you to help them. Can you help people?
Sure, because the thing that we're really looking at is the difference between quick fix, which feels good, but often creates more problems than it's worth, versus putting in a little bit of effort. Freddie, I have to just tell you, like this idea of there's something wrong with me, I'm a failure because a relationship has ended. It's so prevalent. And my family thinks I'm crazy because anytime I've had a relationship end, I jump right back on the horse.
I see
And
that.
that's because it's all about meeting people. It's not about getting hooked up right away or fixing a problem or doing a quick fix. It's about, I like people, I like relating to people, and I'm not going to let a couple of bad apples hurt me that way. And so I think that's the resilience piece that we've forgotten to teach people, is this is about resilience. It's about not letting yourself get down for too long, but remembering what you can offer to the world, whether it's in a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is, and just getting back out there and doing it.
You know, it's really unique because when I was married in my second marriage, I used to be a party. And it's like now. I don't believe that you're going to live life today and be sad. I mean, you guys are here for the first time. This is every day. This is my life. And from here, I go to another party. And from that party, I go home. I believe in the magic of high energy. And it doesn't mean that I want to date 5,000 people. It just happens to be I like people. You know, we've interviewed over 3,000 people in 6 years.
What show number are we on even?
God only knows. But it's all about meeting people, and then you meet somebody who gets you. And you say, you know something? I wish I had known you when I went through this, because it probably would have saved me a lot of pain, a lot of negative stuff. I mean, I was in a real dark place. Now I see people that are in darker places, and I tell them, listen, it's okay. You know, there's going to be a tomorrow. And if you need help meeting people, I didn't even know that you guys existed. And I wish I had back in the day, you know, Plenty of Fish. I can tell you every site there was, babe. I'll tell you, the site business, the free ones, were wackadoo.
But you know what I love about Dr. Laura is you are authentically who you are.
True that.
You are transparent and you walk the walk, and people either accept you or they don't, but it opens up room for conversation.
Right. Everything on my page, other people have told me, don't post this, don't post that. Why not? It's me. Let's just talk about it. I have no difficulty talking about the difficult things as long as we talk. Don't shut anybody down. Just hear each other with respect.
Cool.
And are you finding that social media gives people this false, and I call it a false sense, because in the world of social media, everyone is perfect, right? Mm-hmm. And then here you are, you air, not you, but people air their laundry out there, and you're going to get all kinds of information. Are you finding it, this false sense of security, of just expression versus coming to see someone who can really help you for the longevity, right? It's not the quick fix of I call it the vomit syndrome. Let me just vomit all over you. That's what my kids do. Let me vomit all over you, Mom. I feel so much better. Really, this affects you? Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The long-term effects.
Limits. I think there are limits in terms of what people share on social media. I think it needs to be appropriate. Sometimes it's a cry for help when people are oversharing.
Yeah.
So I'm always mindful about what that boundary is when people are sharing. But for me, it's about sharing experiences that people can learn from. And if people want to reach out and get additional help, that's great. But again, it's about that boundary thing. But I think there's also this idea that social media is anonymous and there's no consequences for saying certain things. That's not necessarily true. People need to remember that there's a person behind that name and that picture.
It's interesting.
very interesting. You know, it's good to see you get both aspects.
And it is a cry for help.
It can be, and you got to leave it to the professionals because we are not the cry for help
Well,
professionals.
that's what I'm saying. But there are professionals, and that's why we try to share as much information and as many resources as we can for people watching that say, you know what, Dr. Laura can help in so many ways. How do people reach you?
Oh, so many ways to reach me. You can go ahead and you can reach me on my website, www.lauraellick.com. That's the best way to reach me. Or you can hit me up with a text, 516-635-6186. And if I can't help you, I will do my best to make sure I can get you to somebody who can.
Can you give me a trio, Val? Because I want to bring Cheryl in also. We talk about love and relationships, and this is now a year. We're going on a year of this. You know what? Today is the 1 year since we had our big event here with Wayne.
Really?
Because it was on Freddie's birthday.
Oh, that's right. That's the day I went to.
We had your life
Celebration
party,
of
your
life.
celebration of life party with Dignity Memorial
I had
here.
a celebration of life party here today, and everybody that came thought I died.
They're very mad at him
And
that
they got
nobody
very
told
angry.
him. Yeah,
Doc, I tell you, I could show you the cards and the flowers. I kept them.
it was either your birthday or how dare you,
How dare
heaven
I.
forbid, have passed away on us and not tell us. Yeah.
And there's a girl that I knew, a very good friend of mine in Miami, doesn't talk to me anymore because she thought I had died, and it was celebrating my life here. But it was to show how dignity works, and it was a little wild. Yes, it's been a year.
It's been a year that things shut down. What are you finding your clients are dealing with right now a year later?
Addiction. Addiction is coming up right now. A lot of people went under the radar, and now that things are opening up a little bit, problems that they could have hid with addiction before, they can't really hide them anymore. So all of those secret users, it's not so secret anymore, and the isolation has really hit everybody.
So would you say depression is kicking into a different gear?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Part of the difficulty is nobody knows when this is going to end, and human beings do not do well without having a fixed ending. If you had told us this was going to be a year, we would have the resources to say, let's figure out what to do in a year. It's not ending. Humans have no idea how to handle no fixed ending. We don't have the coping skills for it. We've never had this before.
It's interesting. Yesterday we were interviewing Manchester, England, and they were talking about what's opening there. And they're actually part of their reopening is to be able for the residents to hold hands in senior centers and in memory care units, right? Things you wouldn't think that is on the opening phase. But it's human touch that I think people are missing, which is leading them to addiction and isolation.
And we come back to them.
And it takes me back to Cheryl.
Yeah.
It's not just sex. It's not just, I have to be with someone. It's, I just want to be with somebody. I just want a touch, a handshake, a something. You know, when you guys came in, Anthony and Cheryl, you were the first two people that I have shook hands with in a year.
Oh, really?
Because people go, oh, I can't. And I stopped and paused in my mind for a second thinking, is this okay? Because what it's done to our psyche,
Right.
not that it's not safe, because I'm not going to touch your hands and then go, chew my fingers
Right.
or wipe my face. It's just the mindset of what it has changed for people. Is this what you're finding as well? I love this.
Oh, yeah. I had somebody shake my hand at my son's lacrosse game like 2 weeks ago, and it felt like I was doing something bad.
Right?
Like, if anybody do that, it's going to change all of our social norms, I think. And that's going to affect, and Cheryl, I'm sure you're going to see this, it's going to affect the dating world as well.
Well, that's true, Cheryl, because people, number one, you have to be able to have enough confidence, the way things are right now, as opposed to before, to say, listen, I'm going to see someone like you to help me. That's the first thing. Same thing with Doc. You got to see Doc. You have to admit to yourself, okay, self, you're okay. Let's get some help. Let's get it right. Let's do it right.
Right.
And then what happens is when they go through this great experience, like their friends have been married for 7 years, all of a sudden they get the word on and say, listen, you got to go check this out.
Right.
Because that's probably your highest resource is your recommendations
the
of what you do. It's the same thing with Doc. We're playing a very balanced psychological edge right now, where people want to know and want to believe it's going to be okay, right? That safe thing, that safe button. People want to know, it's like, I don't care what happens with the cops and everything else. When something goes wrong, you call 911. I don't care who you are. That's where you end up calling. You could have been in a fight, whatever, you're going to call 911. It's about the issues at hand in true to life right now. And people want to relate to other people. That's where you come in. Right. You want to be able to say, listen, I'm getting divorced. Maybe it was a pandemic. Too much time at home with whoever you're married to or whatever.
Listen, my sister's a divorce attorney. She cannot keep up with the work. And they go, I can't afford you. She goes, that's okay, because I got a line of other clients that can, because this is what happens. You either get closer, I think, or you really just can't stand each other anymore, is what she's telling me. Her business, her book of business right now is through the roof, unfortunately, because people, I guess they haven't found you to help work it out if they so choose to.
Right. People are just looking for connection. And I think that's what we missed during this time, is just connection, being able to relate to people. I love reading the stories in newspapers about couples who are like 80 years old who met in nursing homes during this time, and they've reconnected or they've fallen in love. Those stories for me are amazing, because when people come to me and say, I'm never going to fall in love, I'll never meet that one, I say, yes, you will. Don't give up. Everybody wants to connect. It doesn't matter what age you are.
That's the key, is don't give up. I actually saw a story that there was a woman and they placed her in a memory care nursing home unit, and her husband finally in the middle of this pandemic years later said, I have to move in. They hadn't seen each other because of the pandemic, and they showed them reuniting in the halls. She was in her wheelchair and he bent over. They had been married for 60 plus years. And you think, wow, imagine having that kind of love for so many years, even in memory care and even in that age. And it's clearly not about sex and the physical aspect anymore. It's about true love and being able to find your soulmate again. And that does exist for people. That's how you ladies come back together to work this through for so many people.
It's important.
Yeah,
that fabric is important. It's important to get it back, to get it on, and to understand what it is psychologically. And I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you go to commercial break.
I know she's got to go back to work.
But before I understand that, you know what time you're training? I wanted to bring up the fact of rebounding. Okay, in your business, rebounding. Rebounding. So if something happens, you've been through a relationship for 17 years and you get divorced or whatever, rebounding. Is that the real person that's looking for someone up because they feel lonely? Is that the real deal? Do you work with that kind of patient? And do you work with that kind of relationship, knowing, because you're probably going to see it, this guy is on a rebound, do we want to go down that road?
Cheryl, I think that's a great question for you.
Well, yes, I have a lot of clients who are divorced. I have clients that have been divorced and then dated for 1.5 years, 2 years, and then broke up an engagement. For me personally, the people that are on the rebound most likely are going to be on the online dating sites, not necessarily with me. I tend to get more of the serious people who want to put a little money out there to find something real. So that's my experience. I haven't come across so many people that were on the rebound and wanted to serial date, like Anthony had said. I don't set up people every Friday, because if you want that, which is fine, go online. But if you want to settle down with someone and know I'm going to work and really get you who you want, those are the type of people that come to me.
Interesting.
That's great. I always ask people, how long were you emotionally disconnected from the relationship before you actually divorced or broke up? That's really the big difference. I know me personally, I was emotionally out of the relationship before the relationship actually ended. And that really makes a difference to have that psychological break. Then it's not really a rebound. But there are many people who go straight from one person to the other to the other. I think it's important to have enough insight into yourself, because the rebounders, they're going to hurt somebody else. And we want to prevent people from doing that.
Interesting.
Laura, how do people find you for all of your services?
You can go ahead and reach me at www.lauraellick.com or shoot me a text at 516-635-6186.
You are amazing. Are you getting better after that? Are you feeling a little bit better?
Totally. Today has been, this morning I woke up not great. Now I'm like ready to go.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Best news. Feel good. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura Ellick. Check her out. You can find her on social media. Give her a call for so many, whether it's addiction, resources, or just getting back to being who you are. You're awesome. We can put you in any which way.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
Feel good. Have a
Nice
great
job.
day. Let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we got some more merchandising coming in. You wear the
Merchandise.
black Batman, and I
you're wearing
got the white.
It's amazing how you always get the white.
It's amazing how Jeff
do you do
Greenberg
that?
always pulls through for me, is all I can
look at
tell
that.
you. Look at this.
He just ordered that for you.
About an hour ago, and it's already been delivered. So
Wow.
thank you to Promo Stuff for You. Yes, I needed a tank top for Sunday. So more to come. Stay tuned. 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Join us for the 7th
the
annual
most
Brain
listened
Burst
to
as we
radio
bark and
show
browse to
on
end
the planet.
Alzheimer's at the Burt Aronson South County Park. $20 per person. A socially distant outdoor vendor event. All safety precautions will be adhered, including face coverings. Proceeds to help those living in our community addressing Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's. For more information, contact Pamela Polani Esquire, 561-496-4222, or visit us at brainbowlevents.org. AMP Media Productions is proud to announce their affiliation with Comcast Corporation, producing television commercials for Florida. We have a unique opportunity for businesses or individuals to place a commercial on 21 channels with a reduced rate that has never been seen before. You can have an amazing commercial, just like these, made for you and your business. For more information, call us at 866-224-5422 and join the AMP Media family.
AskDearAbby.com. Dear Abby is a life coaching company that was founded by Abby Awutasu. At Dear Abby, we guide single people through the process of meeting, courting, and marrying their soulmates. We know that before you find true, meaningful, lasting love, you must first love and fully embrace your unique self, flaws and all. Contact us today at AskDearAbby.com for your personalized coaching session that will get you on the path to ultimately finding your soulmate. And follow Dear Abby on social media at Ask Dear Abby on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke. If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Your systems are offline.
By Don Pablo's Coffee, and Don Pablo's Coffee is the best way we wake up, especially this early morning, because we had Second Avenue bagels and Second Street. Check out Second Street, but remember Don Pablo Coffee is the best way the cafe wakes up. And now back to Don and Freddie.
You put the bullshit out there. I hear you. She threw a curveball at you in the middle of the ninth inning.
I spoke to him about it.
Or she spoke about it.
I spoke to him about it before the show, and he's like, I gotcha. So I got here this morning very early at 8:15, which was very early for me because I knew we had a guest on the 9 o'clock show. And I see Slick's car in the parking lot.
Because I told him to be here 8:30. I didn't know he was actually listening.
And he was here before I was here, way before you were here, Batman. And I'm setting up, and I'm running around. So I turn the lights on as I walk through the studio, and I turn, and I still have my purse on my arm as I drop things off from room to room. It's like when you go home and you leave things in the laundry room, your shoes, your purse, and I'm walking around as I drop all of my wares off. Slick walks in, and his car had been out there for like 20 minutes. He goes, I'm so sorry.
What time did you get here?
I was on the phone.
You did not. 6:59 plus what? 3 hours? Come on now.
He's been here early with us, but I'm excited. The promo stuff for you delivered. I got a new tank top, which is really, really exciting. I love my tank tops that I get to wear on Saturday. It's going to be a little warm out, I think.
You think what should be? This is right off a lake. What you freeze like an Eskimo?
So then I'll bring your
I'm
jacket.
gonna die laughing.
I don't know, I'm going to check out the weather, but I love this. My new tank top for the Brooklyn Cafe show that I get to wear to the Brain Bowl on Sunday. And then he brought, and these are beautiful. These are all embroidered for the Brooklyn Cafe show. You got black. We definitely have to wear black and a white Batman. We cannot wear the same.
I knew I got stuck with the black one.
Well, you chose the black one.
No, I knew you wanted the white one.
You want the white one? Here.
I don't want the white one. I got the black one.
You
Thank
sure?
you very much. Yeah.
How old are we?
11.
How long we've been married is all I can
11.
tell you. Slick, you love this game we play, right? Batman and Robin, but this is great. And check out the merchandise store because Teddy Unscripted got her sweatshirt
Yeah,
today.
I hate her.
And
That's
she got a bag.
Beautiful and she got a matching bag. What? But did you see that merch that she got?
Did you get your shoes?
Oh yeah, I didn't get my shoes yet.
Did he send you your merch?
He didn't send me any merch.
We got Cheryl to get some merch. All About Love LLC or something like that. Something about spread the love. I don't know. Something with Cheryl Maida and her matchmaking.
LLC?
So it's her business.
LLC.
LLC.
All About Love, LLC. You know, we have a piano player in here, and she spells her name L-O-V.
E.
So what? L-O-V-E. So what would you think her name is?
Love.
No. No.
It's really Leave. It's L-E-E-V-E. She's
Her name is
Israeli.
Leave, and she spells it L-O-V-E. Now, I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm saying there must be something wrong with the English language. I can't pronounce leave from love.
I know. She's Israeli, so it's L-E-E-V-E, and then she went to L-O-V-E, and wow, it's been a busy day. We had a recording artist in from the bagel place this morning, fresh bagels, cream cheese, and now we're talking love and
Do
matchmaking.
either of you sing?
Absolutely not. I cannot carry a tune.
Are you sure?
Positive.
And look, Anthony's another buddy of yours from the Bronx.
I know Anthony was, he remembers 3rd Avenue. And there was a 3rd Avenue, right?
Yes, yeah.
And there was an Alexander's there with the elevator, with the train.
Exactly, right, yeah.
See, I don't make things
We
up.
tease him all the time. He talks about being on the auxiliary in his post with Siemens and Cummings, and we go, really?
That was in Manhattan.
And truly, Teddy found the cross
funny-
street that
it's
said
funny that
Siemens.
you only
I call
remember
it
that.
Cummings and Goings, but yeah, Siemens and Cummings.
Do you remember some of the gangs down in the South Bronx? There
Latin
was
Kings, the Nietas.
the Latin Kings and Nietas, and then there was one, the something that had like a card and a skeleton's face, and I don't remember, but we used to do the jackets.
Savage Nomads?
Yes, the Savage Nomads.
You call them the Ghetto Brothers.
No, that was in the Bronx. That was further up north. But the Savage Nomads, we used to do the colored jackets, which was the cut-off jean jacket, right? You used to cut the sleeves off, and we used to do the colors on the back. Frank's Army and Navy used to do the colors.
Wasn't that your first job when you were, what, like 12?
12. Yeah, the Savage Nomads. Wow, yes. They were a big problem down there, the Savage Nomads.
So his stories are
I was
real?
on top of my gang activity back then.
Were you? Weren't there a lot of gangs in the Bronx?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You see, they don't understand the Ghetto Brothers, the Black Spades, the Savage Nomads, all those. I grew up with them guys.
Right, yeah.
You know, warlords. My cousin Ferdinand was the warlord of the Ghetto Brothers. That was really interesting living in that building.
This is for real, right?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he's a walking John Travolta movie.
They don't believe anything I say.
No,
They
but
don't
I grew up here.
I am so happy he's. I may do a show with you just to talk about the day because they don't believe anything of what we grew up
Look
with.
at Cheryl. Her mouth is like on the
He
floor.
tells me stories that I can't get over.
And it's
you know,
true.
like where I grew up, we don't have those kind of stories.
No,
You grew
Long
up like I
Island
grew up,
had-
man.
Long
Yes,
Island had
Long
beaches.
Long Island and Plantation,
Long Island,
Florida.
yeah.
No, not so
We used to
much.
go-
Different than the Bronx.
We used to go to Jones Beach every weekend.
Okay, I did that.
And
Jones
Fire
Beach.
Island next door to it. We weren't
course,
allowed to
of
go there.
course.
We weren't allowed to go
What
there.
about Orchard? You must have went to Orchard Beach.
Oh, yeah, Orchard Beach to play handball
Yeah.
That is so
With your
funny.
Spalding?
with the Spalding and the handball racket and what have you.
What are those things that you call, they go on the bottom of the chairs? The scullies?
Scullies.
You know what a scully is?
Yeah.
See?
Remember stickball?
Of course.
Now, was it pitching in your day or was it standstill?
Both. They have actually in the 43rd precinct, I forget the name of the street, they actually have, every year they come back, for the old timers come back to play stickball from the South Bronx. And they come back every year. I forget the name of the block it's on. They actually name it Stickball Alley or something
Stickball
like that.
Alley.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, and the old timers come back and they play.
I remember I taught the kids in Pelham Bay what stickball was about, and they played it for 3 days because this game never ends. And also the
Well,
4
Soundview Avenue, I think that's
Soundview
by
Ave?
Soundview
Wow,
Avenue.
yes, that's where, may he rest in peace, JoJo was a member in Soundview. He used to take Freddie down there. They spent the whole day in Stickball Alley. Now the 4-4 by Yankee Stadium,
That was my first precinct. Yeah.
they stole my bike down there when I went to sign up for the Bronx Giants football team, the Pee Wee football team.
That was my first precinct, the 4-4. I was a cop there by
At-
Yankee Stadium.
At Yankee Stadium, yes. I remember we had a good relationship with them. We used to walk to Yankee Stadium under Cliff Avenue. Remember under
Oh,
Cliff
yeah,
Avenue?
yeah, of course.
True place. Under Cliff. That's where the Ghetto Brothers hung out.
Yeah, that's the origins of hip hop. Or from that's Sedgwick Avenue over there, like by Sedgwick. That's where whatchamacallit started. The origins of hip hop. The original. What was his name? Yeah. All those guys. That's where they started.
Nice job.
University Avenue, Sedgwick.
And you remember the Latin Kings? They're still there, by
Oh,
the
of
way.
course. Yeah.
Latin
They were,
Kings
they were
were
probably
tough.
the biggest gang we dealt with back then.
They
They
were
used to have
tough.
meetings. We were talking about St. Anne's Park before. That's where they used to meet.
St. Anne's
Like
Park.
1,000 of them would be there. Yeah.
St. Anne's Park. They used to take over. They looked like roaches.
Did you grow up in the Bronx too?
Yeah, that's
The
where I
Bronx.
was. Excuse me?
The Bronx.
The Bronx.
DA.
DA Bronx.
DA, Bronx.
I'm gonna tell you, the 3-4 was in Manhattan, but the 4-4 I used to live by Yankee Stadium, and that was.
What year did you live there?
Oh God, I was there till I don't even know when. My mother moved to 17 places, but everywhere we went, we ended up on the Grand Concourse,
Yeah.
and that became tough as well. Teddy's dad lived on 167th in the Grand Concourse, which is not far from Yankee Stadium. And they used to do the Bronx. They used to have the Puerto Rican Day Parade on the
yeah,
Grand
Down the
Concourse.
Grand Concourse.
That's right.
Dominican Day Parade. Puerto
That's
Rican Day
right.
Parade,
I was
yeah.
on the first one that they did. I was there on the float.
Is your sister still in the Bronx?
No, she's in the Heights. She's in Washington Heights. You know, it's funny. Puerto Rican families, they all migrate to the same building. We had 27 apartments in one building, and we're gonna move today. Okay, so we all moved to another building.
You know the funniest thing to say about that? You'd go to a family dispute. Two brothers are arguing or something like that, and we'd come there, and one brother beat the hell out of the other brother. So it's a family dispute. So it's kind of like a must arrest situation. The minute you take the handcuffs out, you have 40 members of the family. Everybody's jumping on your back. And you're like, oh take them away! They come out of every apartment because they're all family members. So the minute you try to arrest one of them, forget it.
It's not worth doing it. Yeah,
it's like a melee.
That's true.
Yeah.
23 years?
Yeah, 22 years. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. How long have you been
for your
retired?
service.
I did came on in 92 and I retired in 2014.
So you've been retired for a little while.
Yeah.
Why did you come to Florida?
My parents bought a condo down here. My father did 28 years in sanitation, so he's done with the cold weather, so he got a condo in Delray. So I kind of followed them down. My sister moved down here. My brother-in-law retired. He was a lieutenant in the NYPD. They came down, so I wasn't married. I didn't have kids, and I came down. That's how I met Cheryl.
Well, you guys have the best story. You're going to share your story?
Sure. So I was recruiting for my business. I was already divorced, and I was at the gym. Shocking. And I see a guy on a bike. I'm like, okay, this is a good-looking guy. I started talking to him, and I asked him a little, are you married? And his answer was no. And I'm like, perfect. That's exactly what I need to hear. So I told him about my matchmaking. So he told me, well, I really don't think I would be hiring a matchmaker. And I said, why not? And he's like, well, I've always had girlfriends in the past. But I said, so you've never been married? He's like, oh, no, I've never been married and I have no kids. So to be honest, my first reaction was, red flag, okay, yeah, there's something wrong. And sure enough, he did not go in my database. I did marry him. And I did learn a valuable lesson, though, that you really can't judge a book by its cover. And I do actually have clients who will say to me, who have kids, the woman or man has to be a mother, has to be a father. They have to understand. And the truth is, everyone does have a story. And Anthony had his own story. And he did not want to get married throughout the years of the NYPD. And later in life, wanted to settle down. So I feel like people have to really listen and understand and not judge right away, as I did.
I recognize I wasn't ready. Being a cop, crazy hours, 4 to 12s, midnights. It's never an 8-hour shift. Things happen. An 8-hour shift turns into a 16-hour shift, a 24-hour shift. I saw so many guys have problem marriages on the job, and it just wasn't the right time, and I wasn't ready. But I knew at some point in time I wanted to settle down and have a soulmate. And it took me coming to Florida and meeting Cheryl.
He just didn't meet the right one yet.
How long you guys been together?
We've been married a year and a half, almost 2.
Oh, they're newlyweds.
Yeah.
Don't say
But he's a great spokesman. He actually balances out what you do because he waited. Patiently, he waited.
No, it's so true. Right. We're not the typical, but again, like I'm divorced and I don't look at that as what we were discussing before with Dr. Laura as a failure. I look at it as a great first half of my life. I was married almost 20 years, had a wonderful marriage, have 3 great kids. If I would have met Anthony 15, 20 years ago, we would never be together. This is a guy that did not want to get married and didn't want kids. So I look at it as I had such a great first half of my life and now I'm going to have a great second half with someone else. And that's why I think a lot of people need to have hope, because just because you've never been married or went through a divorce, your life is not over. Just like with COVID hit. This is not done. COVID's going to get better. Everyone, God willing, will have vaccinations. And you need to just look forward, look at the glass half full, because there's hope. We just have to compromise right now, that's all.
It's interesting. Dr. Joe Biden was on TV this morning talking about her divorce. And she said if she had never gotten divorced, she would have never met Joe. She would never had her family. She would have never been in the position that she is now. And she was young. She says, you know what? It happens. And there's always hope, because it reminds me of your story. She said, because now I've got a whole nother life and a whole nother family that has truly, they have changed the world.
Right. And I do see the advantage of someone having kids who might understand more about being a parent. But then I always laugh, there's this little advantage of being with someone that doesn't have kids, because I like to say, I'm his world. And that's great. I might have to define my world a little, but it's a wonderful thing. And we really even each other out and we understand each other. And I think it's about compromise. I really do.
Well, it's not easy. I gotta just say, I know when I was at the 3-4, and I had a ton of cop friends, and I knew what was going on behind the scenes and everything else. Not easy being an NYPD officer. It's just different. I mean, I understand cops here in Florida, all due respect, I get it. But in New York, it's a different animal. And there is nothing like it in the world. And to try to explain it, you can't. There isn't enough words. It's the emotions of things that happen. Manhattan was nuts. the 4-4 was just off the cuff. And when I was growing up, I used to be in the mortgage business, and I used to help cops get their mortgages and everything else. And I saw what they went through, man. And I'm going to tell you something. I used to do an NYPD dinner on Sundays in my house. And my cop friends used to bring friends just to hang out, just so they can breathe for a second and get away from the element. Because I got to tell you, it was not easy. And it's nice to see that you have found happiness. Here you are in a warm state. And I tell my cop friends, come on down. They're not done yet. 9/11 was really hard for us. Really, really hard for us. Lost a lot of good friends during 9/11.
We were in New York then, right?
I was a lieutenant during 9/11. Yeah, I was there for that.
Tough, man, tough. The kids that have grown up now and everything else, and we still talk about it. But it's not easy. And sometimes cops think, an officer will think, all due respect, being a cop here is one thing, but I guess maybe I was there for 42 years and I saw a different side to it. And it's good to see that you are, you found your happiness. You found a great lady to do what she does. It's kind of ironic where you find somebody who does what she does, and you never want to get married, and here you are.
Right.
It's kind of crazy, but
maybe I do. I can perform magic.
that's
a little magic there.
If you believe it, it will happen.
The captain from the Bronx marries the Jewish girl from Boca.
It's
I mean,
hysterical.
that's a story in itself.
It is. But in the day, growing up in New York was different, man. I got to tell you. I used to go to Long Island to hang out. I used to go to Jones Beach. The girls in Long Island are different than the girls from the Bronx. Sorry,
Yes,
it's just
they
true.
are. Yeah.
It was just true.
But what a great story you guys have. Let's
Oh,
go to
thank you.
commercial break. When we come back, Slick, let's change the battery in that camera because today's show is sponsored by, stay tuned, you'll find out. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I got this. We can do that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Beautiful just the way I am. I'm beautiful just the way I am. And I'm radiating love, attracting all the good that I can. Oh, I'm beautiful just the way I am.
Musaf is a music subscription app combining affirmations and meditations. The mixing of music and positive affirmations will take you on a positive journey towards healing. Download your app today, available on iPhone or Android, or contact Leslie Carmen at 561-405-9577. Musaf, that's MUSAFF on Apple or Android.
Looking for a place to get your ice cream fix? Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon. And remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
Hi, I'm Robin Weiss, and I'm a rhinestone artist and rhinestone art instructor. 12 years ago, when I retired from my nail business, I decided to become a rhinestone artist. But then I soon realized there was nowhere that I could go to find the adequate combination of tools or even instructions of how to go about enjoying this craft. My passion for this beautiful medium we know as rhinestones and what I knew they could create drove me to figure out a way to create this magical craft that I now teach. I have developed the perfect rhinestone crafting starter kit, which contains the perfect rhinestone crafting pickup stick. I created this kit to help others and to show you that rhinestone crafting is a craft whose time has come. Filled with fun, rhythmic, and therapeutic, the amount of items that you can cover is endless. not to mention the places this craft will take you and the people you will meet if you should decide you want to get to artist level. You can watch my creations and watch me work on the Brooklyn Cafe TV show every Thursday, where I'll be blinging for Dawn, and sometimes Freddie. While we enjoy each other's company, I'll be bringing you the most beautiful and fun creations to inspire you to try this craft. You can also find me on Real Housewives of Bling at Instagram and also my Facebook group. That is where I'll show you all of my crystal creations while you follow me on my rhinestone journey.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
This segment is brought to you by Cold Stone Creamery. They're located in Boynton Beach on Gateway and Congress and Lake Worth on Lantana and Jog, so go pick up some ice cream for yourself. Now back to Dawn and Freddie.
I gotta ask you a question. You brought ice cream in for Teddy this morning. What kind of ice cream was that?
It was coffee with Heath Bar.
Coffee with Heath Bar.
Yeah, Heath Bar's amazing.
Teddy, how was it? She doesn't hear us. It was awesome. How could it be bad? Coffee is kind of like breakfast. Heath Bar is kind of like a snack.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, and it's made with there's actually coffee grinds. I make a lot of the ice cream there.
There was real coffee grind in it?
There's real coffee grinds in the ice cream.
Can we give you some of our coffee to put in it? Can we have a Brooklyn Cafe ice cream?
That's a good question.
Can we grind? Did you grind up coffee grounds?
Well, the coffee grinds, we buy the coffee grinds. It's already grinded up. When we
I could give you grounded up.
Well, maybe we can come up with an idea for a Brooklyn Cafe show coffee
that would be
ice
really
cream.
Interesting.
How you like that idea?
A Cold Stone segment.
A Cold Stone segment brought to you by Cold Stone Creamery. 2 locations in Lake Worth and Boynton Beach.
Correct.
The official ice cream of
What's
the
your
Brooklyn
favorite
Cafe
ice
show.
cream?
Just the ice cream flavor. I like the cake batter.
Cake batter.
It's made with actual yellow cake mix, and it's put in the machine in the mix. It's really good. It tastes like actual cake batter.
Wow, they actually use it. That could be an award-winning thing. When you make a match, you get some Cold Stone ice cream.
I wonder if people go on dates. Where do you go on dates, guys?
Maybe Cold Stone, and
Maybe Cold Stone. Slick, where do you go on a date?
One of my friends actually went on the guy that she's dating right now. Their first date was to Cold Stone, and if I go to their wedding or something, then I'm definitely gonna brag about that. I was there for the first date.
It's interesting because we have a chef, single guy. He comes in, he cooks, cleans, everything in an hour. So he goes to your house and you want to have a romantic date, right? And you set it up, and he'll bring the ice cream, bring the dessert. You don't have to do nothing. He'll even do the dishes, right?
Chef Mark Fiore.
Chef Mark Fiore, which I think we should give you the number because it's a very safe deal.
Dating at home.
Bring the restaurant to you.
Exactly.
I love it.
We have limos, we have flowers, we have candy, we have cake mixes. We got a whole party in one. Whatever you want, we even have the place to do it at if you want it.
What's the #1 first date place now?
Now, I would definitely say outdoors. I've had people go to outdoors on a bench at a park. I've had people walks, believe it or not, walking and just getting to know each other that way. I had one couple who actually their first 3 dates were all virtual. They literally had happy hour every night. So it was Friday night. I think the next date was Tuesday night. I suggested, and like, you know what, that's a great idea. And I told the girl especially, get dressed up as if it is a first date, because it is your first date. It's just, we have to just be a little creative and think out of the box. And their first 3 dates were all virtually happy hour. Then they got to know each other a little more. And then they took it once again outdoors somewhere. So outdoors, especially in Florida, is huge. I've had people meet at a dog park, believe it or not.
A lot
At
of
a dog
outdoor
park.
first dates.
A lot, yes.
How
All
cool
of them.
is that?
Well, we got a lot of friends. Like this Friday,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, we have our friend Bonnie, the owner of Luna Rosa.
Oh, wow.
And she's a good friend of ours.
I love that place.
Oh,
We
it's
can-
a place
Be
that's
here
phenomenal.
tomorrow. Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to her to hook you up with there because there's another place
That's a
to have a date.
And it's romantic. It's across the street from the beach. It's
the
beautiful.
best.
It's beautiful.
I also met a manager at what used to be called the Marriott. Now it's a different name across
It's
the street.
Opal Grand, I think.
Opal. And she has some ideas for this whole thing as well because we were talking about when he was doing, he did a chef show. He was cooking.
Right.
Chef Mark. And we were talking about how you can have a whole date together because guys want to be romantic, but like, oh, guys, you can't cook. You know, they got 12 fingers and they can't cook. So he comes in, he sets it all up. We have florists.
We got Hey Mr. DJ.
We got the DJ. Now he has a different kind of car. If you don't want a limo, you can get another Cadillac. He has a small Cadillac.
I think that's great.
And you want to make it impressive, you know? If you, in a neutral site, I mean, we know people that will even put you, like Crazy Uncle Mike's, he'll put you on the outside where it's safe of his restaurant and they'll take care of business there.
Right.
As part of this day. Always to impress, it's always safe. Masks are worn, gloves are worn, it's always clean. And even Wayne has a connection in the mall. I got a connection at Trulux if they want that. It depends on where you want to go and how much you want to spend. But it's all very doable because sometimes when you're going to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, you want to be that first impression might be the most important. So.
Absolutely.
Or if you want to go to a hot dog slick, you can take them to on end of the F.
Oh, that place is unreal if you want hot dogs.
Slick.
See, that's his type of deal. He takes girls to get hot dogs on end of the app.
That's okay, to each its own.
And it's very nice. I'm not complaining.
Jay, come on out. I have to ask Jay Harmon.
I'm not complaining. It's the best.
Where was your first date with Barbara? Where was your first date with Barbara?
At Oktoberfest.
Is that where you met her? Or that's where you went on a date?
German club.
Because you've been married, what, 10 years?
No, we were just married 8.
Did you ask her or did she ask you to get married?
Let's give Jay a mic slick.
Oh, gee whiz! I think we just
Mutually said we're going to get married?
That we wanted to be married.
So Cheryl is a matchmaker. It's her husband, Anthony. Jay Harmon is our colored pencil
Hi,
artist
nice
here.
to meet you.
We're talking
Nice to
about
meet
when
you.
you get divorced and there's a second stage in life.
Oh yeah, been there, done that.
Jay actually does those those are all pencil arts, even though they look like paint.
Above you, yeah.
Yeah,
in
he
the
does all
second
the pencil
studio.
art, which is unique. And even the artist can, like if you want to give a gift and an anniversary, my parents were married 63 years. May they both rest in peace. But he can do anything in the art form. If it's a girl with a dog or a child or a couple, he does it all in pencil, which is a little bit different. Adding that different edge, yeah. It's good stuff.
Sure. If any, it would. It's be a good gift for somebody to give someone as a proposal.
Yeah, that's great.
So I have to tell you, Jay, you know how we're talking about the first breakfast? Jay's going to create a drawing for us. Instead of the Last Supper, which draws up a lot of chaos, we're going to do the first breakfast because we have a morning show.
That's
So a couple days after we started talking about the first breakfast again, we actually have it for you, somebody called and said, would we help them put together a production of an interfaith Seder? So we were describing what is an interfaith Seder, which is really Passover was the Last Supper and how all the interfaiths combine if you actually think about the progression of what it truly was. And there goes back to your picture. I
And
know, it's complicated in here.
And this is a picture that's been in the works for, how long have we known you?
3 or 4 years?
Oh yeah, about 4 years.
Yeah, because we couldn't get it done. We wanted to get it done, but it got controversial. But we're going to do it, and it's going to be the first breakfast. And we got more and more people that have joined the fray, and they want to be part of this thing. So we have the paper there.
Great. Well, we'll just put everybody in there who wants to be on it.
It's going to be a
amazing.
great piece.
You may have 2,000 people by the time it's all said and done. It may never be finished.
That's okay.
Like a work of art never finished.
Never finishes. And the two pieces behind us, actually, we don't often get on set because they're usually up high. These are from Max Lazega. All of these pieces, the one behind you is the Tree of Life, and he will actually personalize it for your family tree, which I cannot wait to see one of those finished. You have the top could be like your parents, and then it's you, your brother and sister, and then all the way down becomes this incredible family tree with repurposed materials, which would be amazing.
And these are his #1 sellers, believe it or not the robots. Now, I did go out of my way last night, and I sent to Tiger Woods Association a letter about donating this Get Well
For the
piece
golf.
for him. If they want it, I'd send them a picture, and that we would be more than happy to send this. So I'm just waiting for them to write back and see if that's a go. It has to be shipped to California and the whole nine, but we'll see.
Or you wait till he comes back to Florida.
He's going to be out there for about a year.
You think? Think he's going to do
Absolutely.
rehab and everything out there?
Yeah, I wouldn't get on a plane to come back home because that swells it. He has some serious issues with the muscles. They had to cut the muscles open to get the blood out, to get the pressure out. So he has so
Yeah,
much
they said he had like
damage.
compartment syndrome where the muscles ripped away.
That's tough. That's tough. So
Well, I hope
we
it's not a
wish him the
career
best.
ender.
Yeah, no,
They
it's
were
tough.
talking about that also. I mean, and we talk about what it's like when you're the first responder into a horrific accident like that. I'm sure you've seen a few things. What is that like?
You know, you're not. People from the outside looking in react differently than us. We're first responders, so we react. You know, from a, you know, if we have to put a tourniquet on, we're not looking at blood or this or that. You know, when I watch TV shows, I'm more squeamish watching something on TV than when I saw things at 9/11, or you see car accidents or motorcycle accidents, people who wipe out on a motorcycle. I mean, for some reason, something kicks in and you just react and you do your job. And you're not thinking about, you know, the gore or the blood or the this or anything like that, and you just respond and you react.
And I gotta ask you, Blue Bloods, I'm a big fan. Anything close to what you went through?
You know, it's pretty close. You know, they've used a lot of stories that are happening, current events, and they incorporate it into the storyline of the show. You know, now of course, listen, you know, the brother, the sister, the you know, they're always involved in the same cases. Is that realistic? No, but it's a show. But it's pretty realistic. And now, on that show, the police commissioner, played by Tom Selleck, has a son on the job.
Yeah.
And now, actually, Commissioner Shea, Dermot Shea, of the NYPD, his son just became an NYPD cop. So
Yeah.
that's actually very realistic now, because the current NYPD police commissioner's son is currently in the police academy. But yeah, a lot of the storyline, they try and base on current events. So it's pretty realistic.
And I gotta ask, craziest place somebody's ever taken somebody on their first date?
Wow. Craziest place. Define crazy.
Just like completely out of
the
you know,
box?
out of the box. You know, hot air balloon. Something out there.
You know, it's funny. You say, okay, so years ago, I had a man who, because on my interview, I always ask people where they would like to go for their first date. After I make the introduction over the phone, men will ask me, would she like to do dinner? A lot of people don't. A lot of people pre-COVID was a drink, coffee, possibly dinner, but no 5-course dinner. They wanted to see if they liked each other. I had one gentleman, he lived in Miami, great guy, was so creative, and he told me about his first date he wanted to do, and I was just like, wow, like that's a lot. And he's like, no, but it's going to be fabulous. So they did dinner. They walked around after dinner to make sure the conversation was still flowing, and he actually got a private plane. I don't recall where they went, but went somewhere, and he took her back to Miami. I mean, she told me, and I couldn't believe it, but that was all the first date.
Are they still together?
The last time I spoke to them, yes, I know they were going to get engaged, but I think both of them like wanted to wait a little. So the last time I spoke to them, they were together a little over 5 years.
Wow.
So maybe that did something.
I gotta tell you, you can rent a private jet seat because things have gotten so bad for the private jet industry. They now will let you rent a jet seat And I was reading this, and I said, "This is
Well,
fantastic."
didn't you used to do that? Just take people to Florida for dinner, or fly to New York, someplace else for dinner.
That was when JetBlue first started. Yes.
Is that what you used to do?
Yes, I used to go to Florida for dinner and to Boston, lunch and then
great.
dinner. But back then, the JetBlue ticket from New York was like $34.
What is it? Right, $99 round trip or something.
You could go to. I could go to Europe. I could go to the
But
UK
even just
for
the
90.
concept of thinking about doing something like that is so incredibly romantic, spontaneous, crazy, you name
Well,
it.
we wanted to see if they would say yes.
Well, some women wouldn't like that.
No.
I could definitely say.
Many.
He's like, I had an idea. He's like, what do you think she's going to say? I'm like, oh God, that is beautiful. It's romantic. Let me get back to you. And she was all for it. And probably why they are together 5 years later.
Yeah, it's got to mix and match.
Exactly.
You know that big tree at Rockefeller Center with the ice skating
course,
ring,
of course.
and the hot chocolate. That was a big seller also.
That's romantic.
And the horse, that horse thing, not too much. Don't do the horse, because they poo-poo. Not
How
good.
did you meet Barbara?
Hmm?
How did you meet Barbara?
Actually, we were both at the phase in life that we were. We had both kind of gotten to a point had been dating online with other people, and it didn't really work that well. I said, okay, this is the last shot that I'm going to give it, and after that, forget about it. So I gave Barbara a call online after I read her info, and she decided to meet me, and she told me later that she felt the same way too, that she was going to get one more date from there, and if it didn't work, that was the end.
And that's
has
why what you
something
do is so
common.
important, because there are so many people that are like, you know what, I am just done with this online stuff.
Oh, it's true. Online is just, you don't know, it's like a box of chocolates, right?
You don't know which one you're going to get. It's so true. But again, there are positive stories. You can meet someone walking into Starbucks later today. So I always like to say, I don't discourage anyone from doing anything, but just broaden your horizons and kind of think, like maybe try to do something that you weren't sure. And again, speaking to a matchmaker, at least I know for myself, there's no obligations to talk to me. There's no obligations to meet with me, find out more about what I do. And you would see people sometimes think about it. They're like, wow, I never thought I would do something like this. They're like, this sounds great. But, you have to just get out there and put your
Slick,
right
don't
foot
you keep
forward.
meeting all your enchantresses at Starbucks? Blake, where do you meet ladies?
Oh, Blake is in.
Huh?
You asked Blake?
Blake, where do you meet people?
Dates.
In what
To go out with them.
Like, where do I take them on dates?
How do you meet them?
How do you meet them?
Usually through like common events that maybe you would attend. Maybe through like a certain organization you're a part of. Like me, I'm involved in a lot of stuff at FAU.
He has a great voice.
He does.
Like a radio voice.
Yeah, we tried him on a couple of commercials. In the day we used to do a little bit of what he's talking about. When we used to go to Jones Beach, we used to freeze Snickers and Three Musketeers. So we used to scope the beach for, we used to go on bikini patrol. So we used to look and see who had the bikinis going, and we used to park that bad boy, and then we used to throw the bars over to the girls.
Oh, that is hysterical.
And it worked.
There you go. That's different. I like
And
that.
it
You're being
works.
creative.
Remember, Slick, he told you to go to the beach with a cooler of wine?
Let's ask the professional. But cue this up fairly. Let's be fair about this. No, because he's going to change it.
No, he told me to go to the beach with a cooler of wine, walk around on the beach, in my trunks and whatnot, showing off my abs.
I never
and all
said that part, but okay.
Basically, I walk around with 2 wine glasses, right? 2 wine glasses, and I pour out any liquor of their liking.
That's not what I said. You see,
Because it's
he
rum
doesn't follow.
or what are you talking about?
We have Gubba. Gubba is our sponsor of rum,
Mhm.
and this is a different type of rum. And then you guys could taste it. You could tell me what you think. And I asked him to get a taste test on the beach. Said, we were doing a survey, wear a badge. Can you tell me, do you like this or
But
not?
this was really just to pick up women.
But then you start a conversation.
This was not a cover up for tasting. This was literally just to pick up women.
Listen, I threw candy bars at bikinis and picked up bitches. I don't know what
That
you're
idea is
talking
at least a little classier.
I mean, I threw candy bars. Now, there's another thing we used to do. We used to go into the movie theater, sit in the back, and have a mini bar. And all you hear was and then we used to pour the drinks. So if there was a nice girl in the back, because a lot of people used to hang out in the back, and we used to say what you like. Nowadays, I don't know if it'll fly because everybody's like, oh, they're going to give me a roofie.
You're a walking
Right,
John
exactly.
Travolta movie.
So
In this
we
day
used
and
to
age, you
give
can't
it.
do that.
We used to give it to people to have, and my God, we made so many friends. And we used to make fun. If the movie was bad, it got real serious with the drinking. If the movie was good, they used to say, okay, this is kind of fun. And then we used to movie hop.
Can I just ask you a quick question? How old were you? I'm just curious at the time.
I was about their age, about 21, 20.
Okay.
He's 27.
I'm 27.
Not his, the guy next to you.
Oh,
That age?
okay. Like, yeah.
No, by the time I was 27, I was having my firstborn.
Oh, yeah, no.
We had too much fun. But we used to, and then we used to play a lot of softball, stickball. I mean, in New York, you play
Right.
sports.
So
Co-op
different.
City League. Remember Co-op City?
Oh, yeah.
We used to play in that league, and we used to invite girls to be cheerleaders. And I dated you for 6 months. It was time to move on.
You're crazy. But it's
Wasn't
a whole lot of
crazy,
fun.
it was
It's
all
just
a lot of
totally,
fun.
it's totally different now.
It's just different today, exactly.
Can't do
Yes,
all that
it's-
fun. But nowadays, I would find the elegance to it.
I love the whole matchmaker. I feel like it's going old school, going back in the day, right? For
Right,
finding someone
exactly.
that actually knows who you are, knows who the other person is, and saying, you know what, you may not meet at a bar, you may not meet at an event because you're not going to events. And people right now are so honed in on their careers.
That's
They don't
exactly-
really have time to go to a bar or to meet at a bar, or if they're being, especially now with COVID, being safe.
Or
You kinda
online
do it all,
dating is so time consuming, everyone says. And that's the number one thing. It is so time consuming because then you have women that tell me, or men, I reach out to, let's say, 20 women. Then I have to email everyone back. And then this one can't go out because she's going out with 6 other people that week. It becomes very time consuming. But as you said, a matchmaker does all the legwork. It's personalized. That's the difference.
And you
there.
know what they want.
Exactly.
That cuts down all the chase. My son, it's his birthday. Happy birthday to Freddie. He came from Boston. He was going to school up there. He came down here, and we used to go to dinner. And I used to say, okay, which waitress do you find attractive? And he looked at me and says, why? I says, just tell me. But she's attractive. So I used to go, come here. Can you take my son from Boston, who's never been to Boca? Can he have your digits? And yada, yada, yada. Can you take him, show him around? Nothing serious. I'll even pay for it. And ask Freddie. I wish Freddie would walk through that door. He picked up more girls doing that. And what was I, 48, 49 at the time? Doing that because it was just relating to people. I wasn't asking them to marry him.
Well,
but
there
it
was an
worked.
in-person connection as opposed to online and not knowing what that person was behind there. And that's
Agreed.
where the whole catfishing comes in too. I hear so many stories of someone getting so excited because there's a picture and they're writing back and they're writing the most perfect things and it's time to meet. Either A, the person is just not that person at all, or they get to the bar and there's no one there. So you have to be careful online. But as I said, there's always good stories and then you hear some crazy stories. You just have to be very careful.
That's true. I'm going to get a button that says, I know the matchmaker. Can you
should.
imagine? Can you imagine if you had that and you went all around and people are going to say, can I ask you what that is? Right?
Absolutely.
What is that?
It's what people need right now. They need that interpersonal connection.
That's right. Don't be afraid to take a chance.
Thank
Be
you so
afraid
much
not
for
to.
joining us. How do people find you again?
Okay, you can go on my website, www.cherylmaida.com. You can email me at cherylmaida@aol.com or call or text me at 561-702-1419.
And yes, it is all confidential. Your pictures are not out on her website anywhere. We talked about that as well.
And there is no age restrictions. If you're looking for somebody and you want to do it the right way, give her a call. Have a conversation, see what happens.
And for Dr. Laura, she can help so many. Actually, I sent her contact information to some people that we know that were looking
Absolutely.
for some help. So I sent that information out. You can always give us a call. That is why we're here, to share our resources and bring you information. 866-224-5422. You're going to get Mr. Magic Man over here on the phone. Tune in today at 2:30. We've got Jay Harmon and the Colored Pencil Artist. We're still making the hibiscus.
Nope.
No?
Hibiscus is done. Today it's an orchid.
Today we're moving on to an orchid.
An
All right.
orchid.
So tune in. And how is the Skillshare coming?
Skillshare is just almost finished. We have
When
one
is it?
one little touch to do on it, and it's beautiful.
When is the event?
Skillshare.
I have to have it sent in by Sunday.
All right, so.
So that
This is
was
working
my
out.
deadline. So I have to thank Marissa for the wonderful, fantastic job she's done on it.
That would be M&M.
M&M. So she's doing a great job on that. So you can learn how to make grapes on Skillshare if you're looking into drawing. Jay's show also airs on our kids television network on Saturdays at 11:30 a.m. So tune in for that. Kids, grab your colored pencils. Tonight at 7 o'clock, we've got a live Kids in Capes right here. Bree and Allie, ages 9 and 11, and they've got an interview. I think it is a brother and sister. They make soaps for cancer, so you don't want to miss that. Followed by 7:30 tonight on WNN. We've got Tony Montato from Stand for Parkland joining us with another parent who lost a child in that horrific incident
You don't wanna
on
miss this one.
Valentine's
This is
Day. So
special.
that'll be live right here in our studios at 7:30 on WWNN. So a lot of things coming on. 5 o'clock, we've got our Teenpreneur Show with Dio Coley, another great teen show. It's all about empowering our kids, our teens, and now our singles.
And if you didn't watch the premiere of Eminem's show,
It was great.
you should check it out. And it's what's that thing? I keep thinking Eminem.
And anagram? Anagram?
Emigram?
An
You guys know what
anagram?
an emigram is?
Personality test.
You
You
we
can
are
add it to your
9.
whole assessment.
Oh, you can add this to your repertoire. Wait till you check this out. And she brought us to the attention. Everybody in here is doing it. It's
called Getting
fantastic.
Personal, I think, with Marissa.
Yeah.
Or Let's
and-
Get Personal.
And that went on at 11. And what channel we have that on?
We had that on 2020 Vision.
Check it out. I may play that show on the radio if I need to fill in, because it's just phenomenal about how much you learn about yourself by taking this test. So that if you want to be with somebody and you're lucky enough to find somebody, knowing yourself a little bit, it's kind of helpful.
So more to come, and save the date this Sunday. We're going to be at the Brain Bowl at South County Regional Park at the Sunset Pavilion. So if you head west on Glades Road, you hit 441, keep going. And then keep going
Keep
a little
going
bit more
till you see the
until you
gators.
see the dog park sign. And we're going to be in there with 50 plus vendors, a couple hundred people in and out throughout the day. Yes, it is COVID safe. Masks are recommended, not required. So coming out, support the vendors, support Alzheimer's research, because it is a silver tsunami, as Pam Polani says, right here in our community, and what is happening to our seniors, especially now during COVID. Hopefully they will have the gift of touch back again soon.
That's right. And if you show up there, come on by. We're going to have the cameras rolling, everything else. Just say hi. Let us know that you're there. We'll put you on the air. If you have a business, we'll promote it.
Thank you to Promo Stuff For You for our great promotional merchandising. So have a great day, everyone. Please be safe, be kind to each other. We will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And as always, don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. Well, see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless. inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors, just to reapply, bathing me in drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and